Welcome to your May 22nd, 2025 briefing on Homeland Intelligence Report. Today's brief starts with breaking news of a targeted shooting in Washington, D.C. last evening. We will talk about what we know now and what, if any, conclusions we can draw from it. Also, we will touch on demonstrations at the U.S. Capitol and what the capture of Faraj al-Hamasi in Germany means in regard to the AQ threat to the U.S. In this and every episode, we strive to provide you with brief, relevant intelligence information free of conspiracy theories and unvetted analysis, which allows the mature, educated American to make good decisions regarding the state of the world and threats to the homeland. This comes curated for you by an active supervisory rank law enforcement officer with extensive experience in critical incident management, tactical operations, and public order. I am also a former infantry non-commissioned officer, decorated in combat during OIF, and former U.S. government contract staff member who specialized in intelligence and low visibility, high threat security. I have significant formal education as well as practical experience in all phases of the intelligence cycle. Through these lenses, I endeavor to read between the lines for you, the consumer, to help you form your own well-informed outlook on the world. No currently classified information will be shared on this channel, ever, period. As always, we ask that if you are looking for a worthy organization to include in your charitable giving, please consider the Third Option Foundation. This organization works quietly to support the men and women of the CIA's Special Activities Division and honor the fallen operators whose names most Americans will never, and many times can never, know. You can make your tax-deductible donations and learn more at www.thirdoptionfoundation.org. We begin this morning with what I can only describe as a terrorist attack, plain and simple, in Washington, D.C. 2 staff members of the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. were shot and killed outside the Capitol Jewish Museum after a Jewish event shortly after 9 p.m. local time. The victims are described as 1 male and 1 female. The suspect, 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago, was taken into custody at the scene. The terrorist attempted to enter the building after shooting the 2 victims and was stopped by event security. Reportedly, according to a press conference given by the D.C. mayor and attended by both a long list of executive-level officials at the local and federal level, along with the Israeli ambassador of the United States, the suspect began to chant, "Free, free Palestine," after being taken into custody. According to officials, he told law enforcement where he ditched the murder weapon, and it has since been recovered. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser said, after reiterating that there was no active threat, quote, "I want to be clear that we will not tolerate this violence or hate in our city. We will not tolerate any acts of terrorism, and we're going to stand together as a community in the coming days and weeks to send a clear message that we will not tolerate anti-Semitism," end quote. According to the Israeli ambassador to the U.S. Yechel later, the couple was about to be engaged. The young man had purchased a ring this week and intended on proposing next week in Jerusalem. The event occurred near the FBI Washington field office, and the FBI has agents along with the Department of Homeland Security on scene assisting D.C. Metro PD. How much more tragic a story can it be? A couple soon to be engaged killed because of their home and religion. There's no 2 ways about it. This was a terrorist attack, and kudos to the Mayor Bowser for calling it out right away. For the suspect to be chanting "Free, free Palestine" in that manner will be so familiar to anyone who has ever worked or watched a pro-Palestine protest. I think I stand with many when I say I have full confidence this will be prosecuted federally as a hate crime and act of terrorism, and the terrorist should be sentenced to death if found guilty. On Wednesday, protesters affiliated with several left-leaning groups, such as the People's Action Institute, flooded a congressional office building as the House debated President Trump's budget bill. The protests centered around purported cuts to Medicaid and an 80-hour per month work requirement for some recipients. At the Longworth office building, Capitol Police cleared protesters without any sign of arrests. Earlier this month, on May 13th, Capitol Police arrested several protesters, including at least one in a wheelchair, who had disrupted a budget markup meeting of the House Committee on Energy and Commerce. It appears this was a staged arrest protest, wherein pre-selected protesters, usually the ones who appear the most sympathetic on camera, like the elderly or visibly disabled, are arrested without putting up any resistance and will often go so far as to tell police to arrest them. These are symbolic arrests, and those arrested are bailed out within minutes of booking by protest organizers. During the last day or two of the Dakota Access Pipeline protests in 2017, I recall the command making announcements that all who intended on not dispersing and being arrested should step out onto the road from what remained of the protest camp, once occupied by thousands of protesters. They would stand on the road with their hands raised and allow themselves to be arrested, booked, and promptly bailed out. Many of these cases were not even charged by prosecutors after. According to Askari Media Group, Libyan national Faraj al-Hamasi was captured in Germany recently following a mass stabbing attack. Faraj was tasked, according to many sources, to travel to the United States to take part in what many intelligence insiders are calling the next 9/11. It is unknown why he attacked now and in Germany. Speculation falls to drugs, impatience, or a denial of his U.S. visa. The German government has portrayed him as an ISIS operative, or as, quote, Mahmoud from Syria, end quote. This is calculated disinformation on the part of al-Qaeda. ISIS is being used as cover. Faraj is known to be a longtime member of Ansar al-Sharia Libya and has been directly connected to the 2012 Benghazi attacks. He has associates in the United States who need to be found, fixed, and captured before they can initiate the next phase of their plan. I hope the new administration is laser focused on preventing this long in planning attack. Thank you again for listening. If you feel like you've gotten value from this information, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Look for us on Spotify and YouTube. As always, be well and be well informed.